Welcome to module number 8. In this module, we will look into some best practices pertaining to application of the PRINCE2 issue theme, issue practice rather, and this would cater to learning outcome number 3, understanding how to apply and tailor relevant aspects of the PRINCE2 practices in context. So what is it that we're going to cover? We're going to look into the aspects of application in terms of demonstrating an understanding of 3 key management products pertaining to risk, pertaining to the issue practice. One is the issue management approach, which is a part of the PID document. And the other one is the issue register. And the third one is an issue report. The areas of focus for key roles associated with the issue practice is something that we're going to look into, and some effective management and associated techniques, along with analyzing whether an approach to applying the issue practice is effective and fit for purpose, taking into consideration the principles, the management and associated techniques, and tailoring to the project's environment/context. Now, issue management has got a 5-step procedure. Step number 1 is capture. Step number 2 is assess. Step number 3 is recommend. Step number 4 is decide, and step number 5 is implement. So as you could see on the diagram on the right side, issue management has got a 5-step procedure. Let me just quickly take you through each of the steps. In the first step, the capture step, this is where we determine the issue type. What is the type of issue? Is it a request for change? Is it a problem or a concern? Is it an off specification? What exactly is the issue type? We might want to determine its severity and priority, and we might want to document that in an issue register. And the second step is we assess the impact on the project business case and the project risk profile, and we further evaluate the severity and priority in a detailed manner. And we recommend an option to resolve that issue. We evaluate those options and we recommend a most feasible option. And then the fourth step is to decide if it is within the responsibility of the project manager, or rather within the delegated authority of the PM. The PM could take a call on the issue, or if it kind of goes beyond his or her level of authority, they might escalate. And as a part of decision, there is a decision made either pertaining to approving the issue resolution option, or rejecting it, or asking for an exception plan and requesting for more information. And finally, as a part of the implementation step, we take the corrective action, we update records and the project baseline if necessary. So this is a 5-step procedure. And some additional thoughts on the procedures on the next few slides. As we kind of looked at earlier on in the preceding slides, we've got the 5 steps. And as we looked into, capture step is all about making sure that we document that in the relevant register. Issues can be captured through any of the formal or informal comms channel available during a project. However, the PM should ensure that the means for translating issues from these channels into issue reports is efficient and involves minimum administrative burden. A review of new and open issues should be part of all project reviews, from regular status meetings to stage boundary reviews. Now, the next step is to assess. When reviewing issues, the aim is to answer these 3 questions. What is the type of issue? Is it a problem or concern? Or is it an event external to the project? Is it a business opportunity? Is it a request for change or an off specification? Second question is, does this issue affect the project? And the third question is, if so, how? So once we are done with that step, the third step is to recommend. Based on the assessment, a recommendation is made to the appropriate person or group who has the required authority. Whether the recommendation is to approve or reject a request for change, the consequences of both choices should be made clear. And then the fourth step is to decide. Typical decision choices in response to a change proposal, whether it is request for change or an off specification, include either in the context of requesting for change, the decision could be approval of the request. We might want to reflect or ask for an exception plan, request for more information. In the context of off specification, we could either accept or reject. And the next step is to implement. We approve request for changes in off specifications, and they should be recorded in the project log. The baseline of different management products can be maintained during, or rather using different systems, but each system should enable configuration control for providing a record for changes and an archive of superseded versions. Now let's kind of examine some techniques pertaining to this practice. So a variety of problem-solving techniques could be used to enable the assessment and resolution of issues. Examples include root cause analysis. We use this technique to deconstruct a problem into its contributing causes with the aim of distinguishing one or more primary causes from other secondary or derivative ones. Another technique is the Pareto analysis. We collect possible causes and identify the most likely ones using the 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle, which asserts that 80% of outcomes result from 20% of all causes. Now, this is useful when multiple causes exist and no single one is the obvious source. Another technique is the cause and effect analysis. It sorts possible causes into different categories that diverge from the original problem with the aim of identifying the most significant factors. This analysis is sometimes performed using a fishbone or Ishikawa diagram. And then we have the failure mode analysis. It's a step-by-step approach for identifying all possible failures in a product or process and assessing the consequences of each. This usually requires some form of the product, either interim form, such as a prototype, or the final form to exist. And then you have the 5 whys. Uses a series of questions such as, why did this happen? To investigate successive layers of a problem. The answer to each question becomes the basis of the next why question. This is a simple tool that is useful when detailed statistics are not needed or available. And to be effective, problem-solving techniques must be applied systematically. A team effort is typically required. And what are the relevant management products? We have 3 management products. One is the issue management approach. Its purpose is to describe how issues will be captured and reported and explain how changes to the project baseline will be assessed and controlled. Issue register, its purpose is to log all issue reports raised during the project life cycle, the current status and date of closure. And then you have an issue report, which is used to describe the issue's impacts on the project baseline and identify ways to resolve the issue or address an off specification and recommend a decision.